everyone, all United fans. I'm sure you guys are waking up to a beautiful Saturday. It's whether it's sunny, whether it's winter, it doesn't matter. But at least we are waking up to some good news for Manchester United fans. We have, Manchester United have reached an agreement with Real Madrid for Casemiro, which is a great signing. I want to say a big hello and a big good morning, good evening, and good night to wherever you are in the world. This is Joel from the Red Addicts YouTube channel. We are here with Darren and Jürgen. So the reason we decided that, look, we wanted to push our show as much as we can was basically we wanted to bring you all the latest transfers and whatever that's happening. I know we've had a long week, has been a really disappointing week. We all were waiting really patiently, and the three of us decided, say, hey guys, let's wait it, let's push it as much as we can, because, well, we're down here in Australia. We're actually at the bottom of the globe, and we are literally ahead of most of Europe and of course England as well. So by the time the news comes in and all that, it would be really late at on Friday here in Australia. But I thought the greatest thing we could do is wait for all the announcements to come, give it a little bit more time for things to start ticking and start happening in the UK. So and it was fantastic. I think Darren, we're fantastically positioned in terms of timing to actually bring you the news, because officially on the Manchester United website, manchesterunited.com, it's official that United reached an agreement for Casemiro, so which is a great thing, and I'm really buzzing already, and it's what a time to make that announcement, especially with one of the biggest games of the season is Manchester United versus Liverpool. I mean, anyone can say Manchester United and Man City are the biggest game. No, I still think Manchester United versus Liverpool is the biggest game. It's the biggest drawing factor around the world, and it's the most watched game. And what a time to get into a game with such confidence. I think a lot of the players in that dressing room would be confident about that signing, because they all would have watched the Champions League final last season. Ooh, that was a loud sound. Somebody's probably jumping for joy as well. Well, it didn't sound like that. But anyway, as I was saying, a lot of people would have watched the last year's Champions League final when Casemiro played for Real Madrid and they beat Liverpool. And if you would have seen the kind of player that he was, it was fantastic. I really like this signing. It's a fantastic signing. But anyway, let's get into it, and let's get. We also want to talk a couple of more things leading up from the Glazers. What's been happening over the last couple of days since we last did the last show that we did. Intensifying news from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's a big United fan. He was there in '99 in Barcelona. He was there cheering on the team, and I think in 2019 and also early this year, when before the Chelsea one, when he was bidding for Chelsea, he's always wanted to buy United. Being a United fan, he wanted to buy Chelsea for the mere fact that because it was up for sale. I'm really happy he didn't. At least now he's got probably a clear run to buy Manchester United. And I'm hoping, and I'm telling you, Glazers, sell it to him, because he will run a proper football club and he's a United fan like us. That's the reason why here. Anyway, guys, that's my passion. Let's bring in Darren and Jürgen into the conversation now. Guys, what a beautiful morning. Darren.
Yeah, it's actually great to actually wake up and actually have some, positive news for once. I think the last couple of weeks, it's all been a bit negative, on the pitch and off the pitch. So it was obviously good to see yesterday, and it all happened very quick. Casemiro signing, and it's been a crazy week, really. I think we've literally woke up every day and just been linked to like a new player every day. And you hear this all the time about rumours about players and that, and you just you don't really believe it until literally a side. And Casemiro signing came a bit of a surprise for me, really. When I heard about it, I really didn't believe it. I thought, why would he leave Real Madrid to Manchester United, right now? And then, a couple of days later, he signed. And yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to sign him, and there are a couple of negatives that I'll get onto in a minute. But the positives, first of all, he's a top, CDM is what we need in the squad. He'll definitely improve us, and he's improving on what we've got already. Fred and McTominay, and he'll bring leadership, which I think is something we really need in that centre mid, in the midfield. And I think he's just kind of one of those players that's going to get the best out of other people as well. I think he'll, I think people like the youngsters like Jimmy Garner, if he stays, Savage, Zidane, Rashford, Sancho. I think he can improve these players. I think also he'll organise them more as well. I think he's seen when I watched him at Real Madrid, he seems that he can organise them, stuff like that. And so I'm very happy with the signing. Also, I was looking at as well is one thing I always look at when we make signing is their injury record, and he's actually got a really good injury record. He's only missed in the last 9 years. He's only missed 18 games, which
wow.
Quite remarkable. It's a pretty kind of
pretty fit player.
Average 2 games.
Yep.
Yeah, per season. So that's something obviously is very important, because I think in the past we've had people come in, and they've just been injured, or they've already had an injury problem before. So I think that's obviously all the positives. The one negative, it's not a big negative, but it's just I think the money we spent on him at his age is kind of not the money you should be spending. And for me, I think you could have got maybe 2 players for that, for 70 billion. 2 35 billion midfielders instead of just one. And great examples of Real Madrid, what they've done right now. They've basically bought 2 upcoming youngsters for about 70 billion, and that's kind of for the future. So that's the thing we're not really doing. We're okay now, maybe for the next 2 or 3 years. I think he's still decent for the next few years.
Yeah.
But if he gets injured, or who else have we got in there? We still need more players in there.
Yep.
And we're not planning for the future really.
Yep.
So I think that's something that I'm just a bit worried about. And in 3 years' time, we're going to be back to square one.
Yep.
That's why it's important to make more signings right now.
Yep. Now the thing is, I think from a perspective, I think Casemiro comes in literally helping sort of for the younger players, someone like Gardner and stuff like that, to actually so he can they can sort of be a study, and learn how he's actually. I'm just looking at some of his stats. He's not a person that is going to go out there and give you a gold. In that department, I'm just looking at the stats compared to all our players. Yeah. I'm talking about goals. In comparison, he's basically third on the list. Bruno's got with 10 goals, and Fred 4 goals. But all the other midfielders, Eriksen's is pretty new. McTominay, Donny van de Beek, and Casemiro all on one goal perspective. If you're just doing a sort of a comparison, yeah. In terms of assist. Bruno's still the assist. Casemiro is down on the fourth. Minutes per goal as well. Not so. It quite evidently the stats showing that he's not going to be the person that's going to get you the goals, but he is going to be the person that's going to literally get you the protection sitting in front of the defenders. The person who's going to protect the defenders, the person who's going to be protecting and also trying to move the ball forward. And he's the person when you want to play a little bit more of a defensive role, he's the person that's going to give you that thing. And you never know. With Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag likes to sort of build that into a player where he can do not only just one thing, but he can keep doing other things as well. One of the things that I wanted to actually go, this is the accuracy in terms of passing from where he sits. He is 86% more effective than anyone else. And I'm telling you, from where he's sitting, I'm talking about CDM. From that perspective, his stats has been fantastic. He's number one. And this is another thing we are looking at. Successful tackles per 90 minutes. He is 68%. And you won't believe this. Who's number two? Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek's number two. That's a real interesting fact. This is the fact of successful tackles per 90 minutes. So if you're looking at Casemiro as a player that's going to come there and sit in front of the back four, he's the player to do that, because we're looking at these two stats. I'll tell you, these two stats, he come out on top of any of our midfielders currently. So which is a good thing. Now, my question is, now, great, we've bought Casemiro. As Darren said, he's 30 years old. We've not planned for the future, right? He's coming in hoping I'm hoping that Gardner stays, because Gardner was supposed to be the player to be playing in that role, and Casemiro coming in, what a player to sort of look up to and learn from. If that's going to be the case, if the Glazers are not greedy enough to go and sell him because they want to make up for the money that they spend on Casemiro, then I think Casemiro serves that really good purpose into helping him develop into a player. Now, I want to get some thoughts, Jürgen, from you. We have been doing this over the last couple of seasons. We've been buying players that are probably going to give us 2 or 3 years. I mean, coming from a business perspective, don't you see again the similar fundamentals of the Glazers? I'm reaching out to all United fans again this morning, and I'm saying, sorry guys, there was a technical glitch there while we were talking, and for some reason we went off there for a while. We lost Darren, and for some reason, I don't know why, we just stopped recording. But sorry guys, I'm really apologizing on this basis. We try not to make this a habit, but unfortunately, sometimes we do technology, you can't help it. We were actually having a really good discussion, but we're going to go back to Jürgen again. I was mentioning in my last just before we literally got cut off. I was talking about what we actually made a signing in from the time the rumor came out, and literally 48 hours after that, we are here with the news that the signing's taken place. Manchester United has officially confirmed. Now, I want to get some thoughts from Jürgen, because Jürgen brought up a very good point, and I want to pass this back to him, because he's made a really good analysis on this and a really good point on it. Jürgen, take it away, bro.
Yep. So obviously, very happy news in the morning, and what's really refreshing is that, from the time the rumor came out to us, to the public, in 48 hours, we've got a world-class player, a player that's on the world stage, won a lot of trophies, recognitions, and the biggest factor for United fans and the positives to look at for this is that we still have that pull factor. We've not had the best start to the season, but a player of that caliber is still willing to come and join the squad, join the team, join the project. He's obviously seen what's been happening around the club, the structure, the media, and our shocking start to the season, but he still sees something in our club, which Manchester United fans should really be positive about, because we still have that pull factor. He's not your everyday player. He's a big name. On top of that, what we really need to come down to and discuss is why we don't do this earlier. He could have joined us in pre-season maybe, or even slightly before, and then he could have fit in. They could have played around with the players.
He could have come to Australia. We could have gone and seen him.
Absolutely. And then do it in stages, stage one.
Actually, you look a little bit like Casemiro. We
Do
could
I?
have got you, yeah, we could have got you to sign our jersey.
Maybe, yeah.
Hey, at least we've got lookalikes in our Red Devil Addicts group,
Yeah. That's 4 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 4. That's it.
We could just make a few cameos here and there, yeah.
That's it. I'll probably get my jersey up the next time and get it signed,
Yeah.
Just need one for you now, Joe. Who do you don't like?
We actually need to do a video, we need to do a video when we all meet up for the next game. Jürgen, remember, you wear your United jersey. Hey, that's Casemiro. He's come down under.
Done. Easy.
Easy. Yeah. Sorry. A little fun there anyway. Yeah. I think what you said, Jürgen, is it's literally spot on. Now, did we now? Here's a very a really important fact for us fans to consider, and I'm reaching out to all your fans again and telling you guys, please don't get carried away. This is not the Glazers trying to turn a new leaf. They literally, what I'm saying is, again and again, I'm saying this. They literally putting paper above a crack. They're painting on top of the cracks. So they're papering on top of the cracks. Now, when they do that, United fans, we still need to drive this revolt to them. We still need to go and say it out there that they need to get out of this club. Get out of this club, because they have done nothing. I'll put you out there an interesting fact I was reading today. Because of the tweet from Elon Musk, and of course, then the intensifying news about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who wanted to buy the club. Now, do you know that the Glazers have pocketed? That's what I read, as I said. Yeah, it's not me making it a fact, but that's what I've been reading out there in some of the news portals. It actually stated that they made about $200 million from this week alone because of the share prices heading up the roof, right? And those announcements came out that pushed the share prices up. Now, is this a way that we are now suddenly now we've got the funds to spend? Because now we're going after, if you guys heard the rumor, which I'm hoping we do, we're going after to buy Anthony, right? We've just got a knockback for £68 million from Ajax, and today's report is that we're going to go back with it. We're go back to them and probably, hopefully, get that across the line, because what we've done with Casemiro is great. He's going to be the person that sits in front of the back four, but we're still lacking in terms of scoring goals. The last 2 games, we've scored no goals at all. I don't know whether that's a factor because Martial, who's played brilliantly with Rashford and Sancho in pre-season, there's days between them, they've scored a lot of goals. With his injury going into the first 2 games of the season, was that a big problem? That suddenly, there was a mismatch because we had to put Ronaldo back in. So Rashford and Sancho sort of did not have that synergy. We don't know, but that's literally caused problem because we haven't scored any goals. The one goal that we actually got against Brighton was an own goal. So we know for a fact that we're actually lacking in that part. So lacking in that department. So Anthony is a player that I've watched him time and time again. He's an exciting player. He's fast. He can dribble. He's brilliant. But again, the question again I would ask is, now he's coming from the base, right, where physicality from defenses and also physicality from CDMs in the Premier League are very different. They will muscle you off the ball. But I think if he's coached well and he comes in there and he has the belief to win, I think that'll be a great that would be a great signing, and I really hope we get him. But see, again, guys, we are just what we're doing now. We're not planning at all for the future. And if I'm correct with this statement, if I'm really correct with this statement, and this is something I heard on one of the few podcasts, football podcasts, a couple of weeks ago, they were actually talking about the way Manchester United is being handled or run by the Glazers is the same way that they run the Buccaneers, right? Getting players towards the tail end of their prime and pushing forward and hoping they would win. I think about 2 seasons ago they did win the Super Bowl. I think they had Tom Brady with them at that time. Did they? I'm not sure with that fact, but I think that was the case. But they had it's sort of a tradition for them to get all these world-class players towards the tail end of their prime to come and play. Now that seems to be happening in Manchester United's history over the last 10 years since Sir Alex left. 9 years since Sir Alex left. That's been happening because that would not have happened under the watch of Sir Alex Ferguson, right? He knew how to win with players that were coming up to their prime. He also developed younger players, as we all knew. But this is what the Glazers have been doing. So I want to put it out there, guys, to all Manchester United fans. Please, yes, we are very happy and excited on this lovely Saturday morning, waking up to the news of the signing of Casemiro. But, guys, as I always tell you guys, and I've been telling you guys in the last couple of shows, the Glazers have got to go. We have got no future planning. All of these signings that we have brought in, no planning for the future. Like correctly, like what Jürgen and Darren said, we are basically bringing in players to solve the problem probably in the next 1, 2, and 3 years, probably. Yeah.
Joel, just to add to your point, I don't think that these signings and the rumors are to solve the problems from the Glazers' perspective. I think they're to shut the fans up.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a difference. So the money that they're suddenly willing to put out or pour in back into the club has not been just available for the last 24 or 48 hours. They knew that they can spend that sort of money on the 1st of August, on the 1st of July. They know exactly. I think what we're really angry about is why not make it clear to our manager that this is how much you have to spend. Go out and get the players that you need. Do a bit of planning, send some scouts out there, see who's available, whose contracts are expiring, what deals you can get out there, how you can negotiate, and things like that require a bit of planning. So for the transfer market in December, January, they have to start now. They need to start doing their research, whose contract comes for renewal, whose agents they can speak to, so that they don't do the same thing over and over again, this rushed spending spree. So they've got people in the club to do those things. So I don't know why they don't start earlier. I'm just very puzzled.
I think it's all bound down to the competent people they've probably put in place. I mean, look, we're looking at only the Glazers from a perspective of the ownership, but also the people that they have put in place are not doing justice. But that's a debatable factor as well. They basically could be puppets of the Glazers.
Mm.
They could be puppets for the Glazers. You do what I tell you to do. You don't go. I don't want any smart Alex here. You are basically you're going to be the face of Manchester United. You're going to be there as the CEO and all of the other places, the sporting director. You're going to be the face, right? You're going to be the face the name. We're going to put out there into the media that you are flying to this place, you're flying to Turin to try and get this deal done. Oh, by the way, fantastic. I'm glad that we're not getting Rabiot. Fantastic news that I'm really excited to that. Now, they could be just the face or the facade that they've just put out there for them to be playing puppets. You remember we all, as a school, in school plays, we had those puppets where you got the strings. What do you call them? That's a particular name for them, right? And then you play them.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Is that what the Glazers are doing with the current management? That because any business, I mean, Jürgen, you're a business owner. I'm sure from a perspective, you've got plans how you want to see every year and how you want to train your people to see that, so that when you're not around, people can make the right decisions, right business decisions, and that's all about mentoring and coaching and all that, right? So
absolutely, and also a lot of forward planning. You don't just, like you said, paper the cracks for the next 3 months, 12 months, 3 years. You got to look at where do they want to see United in 10 years, 15 years? What level of fan base do they want at that time? What sort of revenue they're looking at that time? How many championships they want to win between now and then? So we don't hear any of that from the ownership. We don't hear their vision. We don't hear their plans. It's very, very disappointing.
Yeah, it's anyway.
I was going to go. Yeah, just want to make a point actually. Yeah. So as I said, I think I agree with that. Yeah, there's no long-term planning, and you can see that as well because we have to get linked with like every single player, and they're all different types of players as well. We've been linked with the experienced players, people that are 35, 36, and then also another age of the bracket like 23, 24. Which way are we going? Do we want players for the future, or you're going for experienced players? There's just like no kind of like structure what players we want at the moment. It just seems to be like everywhere. It's just like last minute signings, like panic buys, and we've seen it up not just this season, but like in the last like 10 years, just buying people that are not fit at the club. And I think we've probably seen Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher did that video the other day on Monday Night Football. And they literally, I think, picked 2 players that basically have done well for Manchester United. I think Zlatan and Fernandes. All the rest were just players. And it was about 40, 50 signings.
Yeah.
And that just shows that the recruitment network, as recruitment, is not basically not the right people doing the job, or they're just not doing they're not doing their job properly, basically. Because that's like. You're saying I was going to say, you can make a few bad signings, there and there. Everyone does it. Even Alex Ferguson did. But to make that many bad signings is something's wrong, in that department.
No, you're absolutely right. It's the players that you mentioned just now of what Carragher and Gary Neville did. They've spent 1.25 billion on those players. How can it be possible? Out of that 1.2 billion dollars, we only had 2 players, and let me tell you, Bruno Fernandes is still playing for us, but we didn't win anything. I would put him in the next level. I would clearly say it was only Zlatan that at least won us a trophy, and with the goals that he scored, gave us something to be proud of, because if you look at the way Bruno's been playing over the last season and the last couple of games, that's literally gone down pretty bad. I mean, it's literally starting to be very evident that Bruno has a problem.
Yeah, I think you can see. Yeah, I think as you say, Bruno there, he's not proved anything yet. He had one good season, but that doesn't make you, a Manchester United, player, or someone that people go look back on and go, oh yeah, he's actually done something for the club. For me, a great play is like over 5-6 years. People like Scholes, Giggs, Neville, Rooney, and Fernandes. You've done it over one season. For me at the moment, I'll probably agree with you. I wouldn't put him in the top bracket. And Fernandes has got. I've said this before. Fernandes just starts. He needs to stop moaning too much on the pitch. Because every time I watch him,
Yep.
He just moans and moans and moans, and
Correct.
I think it doesn't help the team either when you've got people like that, all the time.
Yep. You see, again, goes down to the leadership on the pitch as well. We're talking about leadership in the boardroom, leadership from a perspective of Manchester United ownership, and also the people within the club itself. We're talking about that. But one thing that we've forgotten to address, that what's actually happening on the pitch as well. Our captain has got no clue what he's doing on the pitch. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not the. I look. We all told a lot of people off here in Australia when Manchester United played their preseason here. We told a lot of people off. You shouldn't be booing our captain, right? Whatever said and done, he's our captain. But you see, the thing is, if I want to be brutally honest about it, I'm against doing that and showing disrespect to our captain. But the fact of the matter that really stays out there, really importantly, is he's not leading on the field. Did you guys see on our chat group that we have on WhatsApp? You remember I sent something there about Roy Keane doing an interview with was it Jeff Shreves? I think with Jeff Shreves, one of the interviews that he was doing after a game that we won 4-2. And if I'm not wrong, that was the game Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane had that bust up in the tunnel. I'm not sure whether that was the particular game, but this is after the game.
Yeah, it was.
It was, right, Darren?
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say to Jeff Shreves? He told Jeff Shreves one thing. Patrick Vieira is a 6-foot player, and he was trying to bully out there. I'm not going to have anything. I'm not going to have anything at it. If you want to bully a player, I'll go into it. Now, that's a captain talking. Can you imagine having that character fire up in an interview, protecting his team on the field? And he stood up to all those players. He went in for the tackles. I tell you, honestly, if it wasn't for the rights, I would have loved to show you that video to all the viewers out there. But go on YouTube and look at that Roy Keane video. You would see as a United fan how driven that captain was. See, that's another thing that we need to talk about on the field. Hey, we've got
just to add,
here now.
Just to add to that, Joe, a few years later, he was actually asked in another interview about this bust up in the tunnel.
Yep.
And he actually said that, look, you guys are crazy if you think that I could take Vieira down. He'd probably kill me in a fight. But but I still had to protect my team.
Yeah.
What a captain. What a captain. What a captain. That's a captain.
I was just gonna ask a question. Do you reckon now? I don't know what you think. Do you reckon Casemiro can make a good captain? Because we've got no leaders in that team. I know we don't want to bring new players to be captain, but when I look at it, he's probably our most experienced player now. And I don't know. It's just a question I thought I'd ask. What do you think?
We've got Mervyn here. Let's ask him, man. He's another hardcore United fan. He's been away.
To father duties were called.
No. We understand. We understand, Mervyn. Don't worry. I mean, father duties come first. But is everything okay? I hope the baby's okay. A big shout out to little Alyssa. Hope you're feeling better, little Alyssa. Don't worry.
I've got my another junior here in the house. He's got a comment about Harry Maguire. He'll make an appearance.
Is that Shane? Come on, Shane. Come on. Tell us, what do you think about Harry Maguire?
First thing when he entered the house, he said, "Who the hell is Harry Maguire? He should be out." Why is he the captain?
Well, Shane is Mervyn's oldest son, and he's actually a hardcore, diehard Manchester United fan as well. We're hoping that Mervyn's grooming him to get into the soccer schools and get him all well and prepared, and then he's sending him off to the UK with Darren, so he can put him into the academy in Manchester United. Hopefully,
he's been told that he's a really good goalkeeper. So
So he's going to replace De Gea.
One day. soon.
Okay, so he's gonna.
We need a new goalkeeper.
No, but look, on that, I think everyone's being really hard on poor De Gea. I mean, that man saved it.
You remember when De Gea first came from Atletico Madrid? I mean, he did made a lot of howlers with when Fergie was in charge. So I'm going to give him slack. I mean, he's been holding the team for the last 3-4 seasons, getting player of the season. I mean, for goalkeeper to get player of the season, I mean that tells you how much work he's putting for the club, and he's essentially, it's because of him. I mean, if you look at last year's goal difference, I mean, we were nil, not. I mean, it was 54-54. Imagine if he wasn't the goalkeeper he is, and
would have been 80 to 80
scary.
goals.
The problem as well, we haven't really got a backup at the moment either, so it's not like anyone's even challenging him.
I mean, I'm not sure they pull the plug and get Dean Henderson back. I mean, I think as a part of a loan deal, I think they can't they, if they have to?
I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen the interview that he's done though? He's kind of slagged off the club a little bit. So I think he's got no way back at the club now. I think that could be his career over.
I agree with Darren.
To be fair with you though, I actually kind of what he actually got. Basically, I think the manager basically told him that he would be first choice. Yeah. And he came back, and then he obviously wasn't first choice. And he said he turned down loads of loan deals. So I kind of do get his point in a way. If you've been promised something and then not been given it, especially at his age, he should be a first team player.
He did play for a bit, and then he got COVID, and then he just didn't recover as well from post-COVID.
I tell you one decision that cost us a trophy was against Villarreal when we played the Europa Cup final. That's the game. I'll remind all you fans that Mervyn didn't listen to me. He went out to see the moon, and we lost because of that. Mervyn just putting it out there. If Shane is there, you're listening. It's all because of your dad. We didn't win that trophy for the second time. No, but that game, I for some reason I thought that De Gea wasn't really ready to play the penalties. He wasn't really ready for a penalty shootout. And if you look at his stats before that, he's never really saved a penalty on any penalty shootout. His saving ratio in penalties have been really poor compared to Dean Henderson. Right? Now, I don't understand why didn't we've seen it happen. I mean, managers like Louis van Gaal did it in the World Cup. You remember when he subbed off Sillissen for Krul, and he saved that penalty. You remember that World Cup, yeah? That's what I'm saying. That's making the hard choice. It doesn't matter if you fail, but that's making a choice that if you do win, you'll be respected for making that choice. Look, I don't expect some decisions to go I don't expect every decision to go your way. Some decisions are not going to. I mean, Mervyn has said that time and time again in the hospital when he's working. Everything that he can try and do right can sometimes go wrong, but sometimes you've got to take a little bit of that risk. I know there's a lot of repercussions of failing on it, but sometimes we need to believe in ourselves if we can do it, and that cost us a trophy. So I think from a Dean Henderson perspective, I really feel for the guy, but I don't think there's any way back for him after that interview. They would probably loan him out, and if he does really well, they'll put him up for sale, and they will sell him next season, because I think that's definitely going to happen. And honestly, I cannot blame him for that factor. I mean, I'm not a fan of you going out there and slamming the club, but I cannot blame him if he was promised something and it was not delivered. I think that was really our fault, basically.
Yeah, just the last point on De Gea, actually, I was going to say as well. I think also the game, I mentioned this the other day in the chat, the game is changing now, and a lot of keepers need to be good with their feet. It's not all about shot stopping. And I think the manager wanted to actually see if De Gea could maybe change his game. And he's probably realised that he probably can't. And no fault of De Gea, he's been used to playing a certain way during his career. And it's harder when you get older, to actually change that.
I mean, if you
that's the reason
Sorry, great.
saying
Sorry,
that you change him. Yeah. No, I was gonna say that's the only reason I'm saying we could need a new goalkeeper. Because I agree with you. Like De Gea, he's been one of our best players in the last 10 years, and it's unfair on him. It's just the way things change. It's like Joe Hart in Man City. Sometimes you have to be ruthless.
I mean, if you look at Kasper Schmeichel, he's been moved on. I mean, I thought he's a great goalkeeper. But, obviously the clubs, unfortunately, that's one department we've always held to one goalkeeper for many, many years. I mean, Peter Schmeichel was one good example. And then Van der Sar came in.
Yep.
But in between, obviously, Mark Bosnich and Barthez, I mean, they didn't really hold that position long enough. But, I see the same trend with De Gea. So you're right. So I think we definitely have to go out and get another goalkeeper. I mean, maybe David Raya, He's fantastic. He's number one, isn't he, for Spain now?
Yes, Raya is number one for Spain now. Yes, you're right.
So he's seen who we've been linked with, which I think is just crazy. Bekovic from Everton, which I really would not get that start. It's kind of like another Tom Heaton signing, just like experience, or like Lee Grant even. It's just that signing would not make sense. We were going to buy a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper that's going to challenge De Gea.
Transition into number one. Yeah.
Correct. It has to be number one.
The previous season, by getting Lee Grant, I mean, he was.
He didn't even play, did he?
I think he played one game or two games. That's it. This is the thing. I just don't understand. What you signed him to basically mentor these other goalkeepers. I didn't really see. If you signed someone like Van der Sar or Peter Schmeichel to mentor these guys, it's a different caliber, right? It's a really different caliber. Bless you, Jürgen. You took a seat there. Don't worry, we got a doctor in the house. Any prescription, doctor?
The rest.
So the thing is, I think you're right, Darren and Mervyn. You literally hit the nail on the head, because De Gea, Ten Hag likes to play from the back, and I don't think De Gea is ready to play from the back. He's not one of those goalkeepers that's going to come out like Alisson and Edison does for Man City and Alisson for Liverpool. They come out, they literally almost play like a sweeper role, But I do not think, and if you look at the way Man City plays when they play from the back, they have the players to play from the back together with their goalkeeper, almost passing everyone there and making, and that passing is so accurate. Now, in order for you to be able to play that, you need the players to do that. And none of our back fours can do that, except probably Varane, because I think he's done it before with Real Madrid. And he's a faster player. He's more agile on the ball. But everyone else, that includes De Gea, cannot play from the back. He's a good shot stopper. He's very acrobatic when the way he dives to stop the ball. But getting him to play in that sort of a sweeper role and coming out to take on defenders, especially on a one-to-one situation, he's going to lose that. And that is something that, you see, this is the thing. We have not, our scouting department has not identified anyone in that department. We are now trying to hurry. We've lost Dean Henderson. What do we do now? Crap. What do we do? We're trying to go and sign everyone.
It's just like we're going to spend money. We're going to end up spending money on a goalkeeper when we don't really need to, because we've got one on our books. Because we've upset him, he's probably going to want to leave now. So it's just money where we could put that elsewhere in the team, and now we're not going to be able to do that because we are going to need a goalkeeper, soon.
Yeah.
And that's just more money wasted basically on something we didn't really need to do.
Correct.
United's transfer policies from the last 9 seasons have always been short term. They have not looked at long term goals, because the problem is the way the team is set up. It's easy to plug wherever the leaks are, rather than then give it a good leak and proper
you agreed. That's exactly what Jürgen said just now. He said it. It's literally the right terminology that you used, Mervyn, there was plugging the leaks. So when there's a leak, just plug it there. That's it. You're not solving the problem. You're just trying to do a quick fix.
Yep.
This is the point.
Because the thing is, to be honest, if you really want to overhaul the whole team, you need bucketloads of money, which we just don't have at this point of time. You know?
Correct. But you see, the thing is, and that point, like I would go back to what Ralph Ragnick said towards the tail end of the season.
Yep.
We need an open heart surgery. That terminology is really very apparent to Mervyn, and he can tell us a little bit about that. Now, what I understand from what open heart surgery is, basically, he's actually saying that we need 10 players. We literally need to get rid of every single thing, right? We need to take it out, look at the team. These are the players that need to be moved on. We need to bring in new players. Now, I get it. Unless the club is willing to, because we've got so many fundamentals, unless the club is willing to spend $500 million and invest into buying the right players, put it out there, say, guys, here's $500 million. Okay, now we can do that. But we can't do it in one window. There's no way we're going to be able to do that in one window. What is the best we could do is get the right player. See, this is the problem. We needed a central defensive midfielder 3 seasons. It's taken them 3 bloody seasons to do this. This is what the problem is. When Klopp came in, he wasn't performing. He finished 8th that season, but he knew what he needed. He knew, and he gave him about 3 to 4 windows to bring him up to speed to what the team is. The last 2 seasons, and he won the league. He won the Champions League with that team. Now, the team was very unlucky, probably last 2 seasons, with injuries and all of those things, and they didn't perform to what they were. But there was still a team that pushed Man City. Man City was just a class of above, right? On any other given years, Liverpool would have literally won 3-4 titles ahead of United, and we would have been chasing them again if Man City was not there to put a stop to it, right? Because they had the team to do it. They took about 3 or 4 windows to do that. Now, if you look at what they've done now, they are starting to build the team again. You look at the signings that they've made. They've not made many signings, but they are making a few signings over the last 2 seasons, literally trying to add in younger players to that. They brought in Thiago Alcantara probably at the tail end to give cover to Fabinho and to also help because he's a great player. But generally, look at all the other youngsters that are coming through the ranks are given freedom to play. They're given the opportunity to play, and they started signing younger players as well. So that's starting to take shape in terms of what they wanted to do. And they, mind you, they don't have the financial muscle like what Man City has, but they have the financial brain to put the club in to the way to make money, but to also ensure that the club is performing on the field, right? And I think Klopp's done that really well. What we are doing on the other hand is we're just trying to plug the gaps here and there. We've got no plan.
Yeah, the other thing is, remember, we have not given a manager a chance to stay long enough because there's always the pressure to succeed. So I think hopefully this is the season or the next coming season we'll see Ten Hag as being the primary person to lead us out of this rut that we're in. But he needs to start with the club, trusting the manager, like you said. I mean, Klopp didn't do well for the first 4 seasons. But yet, during that 4 season, he was able to analyze who he wants and who he doesn't want. At the moment, he's got no idea. At the moment, he's only using what he has.
Yeah.
Play with. And sometimes you need a couple of seasons to know which players are there.
Correct.
So
you're right. You're absolutely right. I think
give consistency in the manager first before you can have consistency on the other parts of the club, especially on the field.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I've just looked at there was one thing that just come in.
Yeah. Did you see what Nani said about the team? I think he gave. Rio
Yes.
Interviewed Nani, and his first comment was, there's no sweat in the team. I mean, he's obviously using very simple language, but still.
Yep.
So even anyone can see there's no passion in this club.
Yep. Perfectly described. Actually, it's perfectly described. And I was going to mention. Apparently, we are putting in a new bid for De Jong apparently because the bid has expired.
To be honest, I think we're just chasing the shadow. Really, I think he's not. I mean, you can throw.
Maybe bought Casemiro because we haven't got De Jong.
I mean,
I don't know, but the news are coming out that apparently they want De Jong as well.
Waiting, Barcelona are probably waiting for a ridiculous price. You know, when we talk about business, what Real Madrid
didn't Barcelona always accepted the deal? It's De Jong that didn't move forward. Am I right? I mean, that's the news.
They want. I think the roadblock is the unpaid wages.
Yeah. Which you can technically solve it and put it through in the sale price, and they can, United pretty much can pay his 17 million that he's owed, so that's not a problem. But it's also, I mean, he's never committed. I mean, like I said, again, we're constantly chasing after these players who are a bit, maybe half-hearted, wanting to come over. So I think we should start getting away from that. I mean, yes, we always want to have marquee signings for every season, but I think unfortunately, we are not there yet to marquee signings. We should start scouting for players who really want to play for the club and, and go from that way. And then, Anthony's deal as well was I think was rejected. Now they're going to put another bid.
Yeah, they're going in for another bid, which is good. I mean, I'm happy that's going to happen. But another.
I think we should go for.
Sorry,
no, go ahead. I think because we spent that much money on Casemiro. I think was it Gakpo in it from Gakpo.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a bit cheaper. That would probably make more sense.
Yep.
Now because we spent more money on the CDM. I think we're going to probably more than likely going to go for him instead of Anthony.
Yeah.
Because I think we've got the money basically now to go and get Casemiro and Anthony in the same transfer window. So I think Gakpo is a more realistic list for this season.
Yep. Jürgen had to go on. We'll catch him back on the preview show anyway. I think I mean. Look, Gakpo may be a cheaper option. I get that, but there's a certain reason Ten Hag wanted Anthony, and I think the club has got to go out there and push as much as they can to get that over the line. It could be just a matter of add-ons and stuff like that. But here again, like what Jürgen said in the last, why are we doing this now? We could have gone to Ajax 2 months ago, 3 months ago, before they lost much more of their players. They could have been willing to do a deal straight up because they would have wanted the money to reinvest back into the club. But we are going in so late, so every club is going to hold out for prices because we are showing desperation.
I mean, we did that long before. I mean, it's the same. We're doing the same thing we did many seasons now. That we wait till the very end of the transfer window, and then we having to shell out ridiculous amount of money, give them ridiculous amount of wages just to attract them.
There's just no planning, is there? In the
there's no planning.
There's just no planning at all.
And this will be obviously pressure to start throwing money now, to hopefully to secure their position. But I think it's clearly stated no one wants them there, regardless whatever the outcome of this transfer market's going to be.
I think there was something Jürgen was going to mention, but I think he's going to. We're going to prompt him in the next show. He was going to talk a little bit about the business sense of what he's sort of read into and what he's seeing, and I think he was also going to give us a thought on hoping that changes come over the next couple of weeks because it's going to take some time. If the Sir Jim Ratcliffe's rumor is true. It's not going away. It's intensifying. A lot of people are talking. It's also come out in Bloomberg. Bloomberg has also reported it. I'm quite certain because I'm quite certain that this is sort of working its magic in the background. I'm hoping that's going to come in. I don't think he's going to play second fiddle to the Glazers. I think he wants full control of the club.
I think talking about him buying a minor stake, but I agree. I don't think you should do that. I think you should just go all out and get the club.
Correct. Get the club. Exactly. Literally go out there and buy it lock, stock, and barrel, because then he can put a proper structure into developing this club. Excuse me. So anyway, guys, look, let's wrap this up for the weekend transfers. It was really great to have you back, Mervin. We missed you over the last couple of days. Didn't see your face a lot. I know you've been busy and stuff like that, but we're glad to have you back. And always fantastic to see Darren. He's finally no longer wearing his sleeveless t-shirt, his sexy sleeveless t-shirts. Up in Kane.
Nusa's still a bit warm.
Nusa's a bit warm. That's why he's wearing the jersey now. I like it when you wear the jersey, Darren. you kind of look sexy in it, you know.
Yeah, I'm a bit more happy now that we're making a sign in, so I can walk around wearing my new shirt now.
Yeah.
Wait till Tuesday though.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, based on what we see, I mean, to be honest, on paper, United was form. They should easily beat Liverpool because they themselves have 11 players out.
Yep,
something like that. So obviously this is the moment, guys. Hopefully.
Well, Mervin, we're going to do a preview show. So, I think we're going to get all of those thoughts from you on that preview show, because we've all been chatting about this, who's going to start and all of those things. So we won't touch on it here. We'll do the preview show, guys. So tune in. We'll still keep you updated if there's any late signings coming in now. We will definitely update you. But again, we are very, very excited. Waking up to a Saturday morning, I literally couldn't sleep. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and looking. I didn't get a text from Darren. Darren's probably asleep. And Mervin, he's off from work today, so he's not going to be up in the wee hours of the morning. So nobody's giving. So I had to turn to the news sources on Bleacher Report to actually go and see. And then I saw the announcement, on the Man Utd website that United has reached an agreement with Casemiro. Oh, what a player he is! And Mervin, we also said that we got a cameo that looks like Casemiro. Jurgen's the Casemiro of our team. The Red Devil Addicts. We got to get his signature next. Anyway, guys, it was lovely talking to you guys. Mervin, thanks a lot for joining in on your busy day. And Darren, as always, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep that stories coming in, yeah. Keep that stories coming in. He's our spy, our news desk. Remember, I was telling everyone our news desk. That's our news desk spy, Hey, but by the way, guys, I'm still doing more. I'm still gonna try and call a few more of those sponsors. We need to get comments from them. We're gonna ask them, why are they not pressuring United to make to structure the club? We're gonna go down that path. I'm just getting a lot more information before we go down and make those calls again. We're gonna call them and we're gonna get them live on air to give us comments. So that's still happening. Stay tuned for that. We will definitely go live with that. So anyway, guys, this is me, Joel, signing off from the transfers on a beautiful Saturday morning here in Melbourne. And Mervin, we've got Mervin who's joined in, and Jürgen who's joined us later, who had to run off. And we've got our news desk chief editor, Mr. Darren. We will be back for the next show for the preview of the Man Utd versus Liverpool game. We'll go through the lineup. Who do you think we're going to pick? The good news is Anthony Martial's back in training, so it'll be quite interesting to see. And we will come to you with all the latest happenings around. We will also do a show to just 45 minutes before kickoff once the actual team lineup is out. So stay tuned. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and also follow us on our YouTube channel, that is the Red Devil Addicts. A big thank you to the right agency who's actually developed our logo. You can see it now on the Red Devils Addicts, and also on our Instagram page. The logo has been designed. We are here for the long run, guys. This is going to be a great show. We're going to keep going. We're gonna get better, and things are going to get even more intense. And I think I like it. I like the spirit. Every one of us, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to be creative. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys at the next show. Have a lovely Saturday morning. Enjoy the Casemiro signing. I'm going out there to have a nice big breakfast, because what a news that we got, that we finally signed a world-class player. Oh my God, I tell you. This is me, Joel, signing off from the Red Devil Addicts studio. Goodbye, Mervin, and see you later, Darren.
Okay.